Hey Gratitude Seeker, in this episode we will explore how we can give negative feedback in a positive way. Sometimes we just have to do it, and it's best that we do it in a positive way. The first thing that I wanted to share with you and to ask you is if you got to write any reviews and make someone's day. The funny thing is that I actually got to write 2 reviews yesterday. One for a friend who just launched his own Amazon Alexa skill, and one for another friend that just launched her iOS and Android app. Did you get to write any reviews? If you didn't, maybe you'll find a great opportunity today to do so. Also, great news. The animated video that I was working on for, I think the past month or so, is now live. So you can see it on Facebook if you go to the Gratitude Podcast, and also on YouTube. I really hope that you will like it, and if you do, please share it with your friends, with your family, because it's really fun, entertaining, and it has some great ideas on a more joyful and happy life. So getting back to the negative feedback. This might not apply to everyone. I may be more sensitive, and I like it when people know how to tell me that something isn't okay, but in a way that makes me feel motivated to do something about it, not in a way that makes me feel that I need to defend myself one way or another, or that makes me feel that actually nothing is good and everything is bad. These are actually the 2 kinds of negative feedback that aren't the best ones from my point of view. When you just communicate the problem or the problems and you put too much emphasis just on that, in many situations, the other person might think that actually everything is bad because there's so much focus on just that, the bad things, the negative things. Also, if you communicate the problem in a way in which intentionally or unintentionally you make it about that particular person, this is not very helpful either, because that will trigger their defense mechanism, and they will either close up or start fighting with you. So in my opinion, in my experience, the best way to give negative feedback is by really appreciating what is good and adding on to that. The things that need to be better, the things that may be a problem in that situation. This is constructive. Sure, some things are bad, some things need improvement, but if we communicate them in a way that is constructive, I believe that it can make a huge difference. Whether that's with your colleagues, with your employees, with your boss maybe, with your children, with your spouse. For instance, when I was little and my brother wanted to help me with my homework, being a professor, he was very harsh. He wanted me to excel, but he wanted that so much that he ended up only pointing out the things that were wrong. And for me as a child, at least, that was really demotivating. There were times when I actually cried because of this. I felt stupid, I felt like I'm not able to understand things, and that wasn't really helpful. It took me a while to see that I'm not actually stupid and I understand many things, even though I don't understand them all, and that with a different approach, it's much easier for me to learn and to get better at different things. That different approach is this. Firstly, appreciate what works, what's good in the situation, what's good about the other person. I know it's not the first thing that comes to mind when you have a problem, when you need to communicate some negative feedback, but you'll get a much better result if you do this. Next step is to actually communicate that appreciation, acknowledge that person in just a few words if you don't have the time, or actually let them know what's good in the situation and what's good in them. And afterwards, let them know about the negative feedback. But don't do it starting with, okay, you're a great person, but. An important distinction here is to use and. This will not trigger a certain mechanism in the other person's brain that can lead to defensiveness. It will keep the other person open to your suggestions, to your ideas, to your feedback. And while communicating it, you can build upon what's right. For instance, I had to do this with the people that have been working on the actual animated video that I invite you to watch and share. To be honest, the first time that I saw the video, it was almost nothing like I imagined. I was a bit disappointed at first. Afterwards, I was a bit mad, but I applied these same steps and I communicated the necessary changes, building on what was great about the video. So these are the 3 steps. They work great for me, both in business and in my personal life. They make my relationships much better, and I'm hoping they will have the same effect in your life as well. Think about the areas in your life where you can apply this, and the next time you're in a situation when you need to give negative feedback, use these steps and see how it works for you. Thanks a lot for listening. I hope you will have an amazing day, and don't forget, I'll put the links to the video in the description of this episode. I really hope that you will enjoy it. Thanks so much.